Welcome back to Immortal Empires. Today we're going to be playing some more Luthor Harkon, and I'm just taking a look at the zoomed out map here. You can see we did make peace last episode with Harkon, who owns the western coast here. And if we look at the armies, of course Luthor's making his way up northwards. We might be able to take this as well as these lands here. And then up to the north you can see the Empire here actually on the west coast. So Adley looks like she should be able to take some settlements. So if we go in for a closer look here, there's Luthor. There we go. He hasn't used his movement this turn. So where should we go? We could go over to the Sentinels of Time. They don't really have an army there. So I think that is the best choice. There we go. It's very hard to see where Luthor actually is. So let's bring him over here to take the Sentinels of Time. There we go. And if we go north to Adley, I believe she is currently sieging a settlement. There we go. Yes, it's a valiant defeat, so we will carry on encircling this until the outcome favours us a bit more. If we go ahead and check our diplomacy here, I'm not sure there'll be anything for us to do. Yeah, nothing here. So that might be the end of the turn already. If we take a look at our victory conditions, of course we have restored Harkon's mind. So now we just need to occupy, loot, raise or sack another 6 settlements. And then we have achieved the short victory here. As we go down here, we can build in this province. We have 6k gold. What about in the Awakening? We can also build in the Awakening. So let's go ahead and get a tier 5 port. Wow. We can unlock a Vampire Fleet Captain as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So get a tier 5 port and then we'll upgrade Slacks actually. I want to make sure our home province is all good and safe from any Empire raids there. So let's go ahead to our next turn here. Harkon actually attacking us here. I thought we agreed to a peace treaty. Oh no, the Skaven of course paid us some gold to rejoin the war against Harkon. Aha, I forgot about that. As a decisive defeat there, so nothing we can do about this one.
Know that my deckhand's rotten eyes watch you closely.
Aranessa ending her non-aggression pact with us. That's kind of interesting. And the Empire there deciding to attack one of our settlements. A valiant defeat there. I don't think it's too important. It's on the coast. We just need to raise or sow another 6 settlements and then we have a victory anyway. So I will go ahead and auto-resolve this one. Oh, those purple winds of magic are strangely absent around these parts, making the bindings that tie our troops to this world and our will tenuous at best. Should we wait for the winds to blow more favourably for us to press on? Or on regardless. There we go. So we can get... I think we should push on. I don't want to lose campaign movement range, so minus 10 leadership for infantry units. Minus 3 winds of magic power reserve per turn, but plus 2 local recruitment capacity faction wide. And Skeggy have been obliterated, and our settlement down here being looted by Harkon and occupied. And then on the coast up here also the Empire taking the Golden Colossus. And a new event here. Orion, King in the Woods and Master of the Wild Hunt, is reborn anew. On the eve of the vernal equinox, the elite Wild Riders select a candidate to bear the mantle of immortal Elven King for the year ahead. Now that Queen Ariel has done her secret work, Orion storms back into the world once more. As ever, he immediately calls a wild hunt to clear the forests of undesirable outsiders. The herald of the hunt sounds the horn, signalling the elves and forest spirits to fight in Athel Loren's defence. A primal urge to expel the forest's enemies that none can ignore. So Orion will now behave more aggressively towards his neighbours. Luckily he's not our neighbour, so we don't have to worry about that too much. If we continue down here to Luthor, he should be able to attack this settlement, no problem. There we go, a decisive victory there. And we will just go ahead and occupy it. Slows down anyone chasing us, and there we go, Cult of Sotek have been obliterated. They are no longer a force
I hear
that we have to worry about. Our vampire fleet captain here gaining a level up.
mutiny.
Now we could level her. Her magic is already pretty much leveled. So kidnapping, replenishment rate. We could just go into her combat, to be honest. Let's give her 5% ward save. Very nice.
My madness
And
is
then
not
Timmy, our haunter. Let's go ahead and give him... Let's give him some melee attack. There we go. There, he'll hit more often, which is always nice. So Luthor can just chill here. I think then we'll go towards the marks of the old ones. And if we go north, let's see if Adley can finally win this in auto-resolve. It's a Pyrrhic victory. I'm fine with that because these are very cheap units anyway. So let's go ahead and auto-resolve this one. Of course, we will go ahead and occupy this as well. And then Adley should be getting a level up here. There we go. So, we were going down this tree. Let's see. We could give her... Oh, she also has magic. Should we go down her magic tree? I feel like we should. So, let's go ahead and get a rank in Spiteful Shot. There we go. And if we look at Raised Dead... let's get some more melee units, and then another gunpowder unit. There we go. She does have the 2 Necrofix Colossus, which should be helping her. It's going to take a few turns for her to regenerate up here, though. If we go over to Tlax now, we should be able to build another building here. We don't need growth anymore. Let's go ahead and upgrade this to a meat market. We already have defense. Maybe we could build a military building here, or we could even just go for a midnight gambling den. We'll see, but we don't have enough gold right now.
I am the
Luthor can also build something on his ship. Again, we want to get these first, so let's not do that. We will go ahead and check our diplomacy though. I don't think there's anything to be had there, so let's go ahead to turn 1 to 2. Before we do that though, bat swarms, there we go, very nice. Let's go ahead to our next turn here. Salvage supplies. Our cargo hold has sprung a leak. Some of the booty has already been damaged and our weapons and armour are now at risk too. There is only so much space above deck, however, so which supply should we try to save whilst this ship is being repaired? So minus 10 armour for infantry units or minus 20% weapon strength for infantry units. I think we should just get rid of the weapon strength, so salvage the armour. And the lizards, they're confederating one another down in the south. And of course, settlement besieged down here. Rakarth laying siege to the Citadel of Dusk. Rakarth does have a very scary army, but luckily he's not really in a position to catch up with us and chase us here. So, now we could take Luthor. Let's take him up to Oixel. I think we could then reach marks of the old ones from there. In fact, it's currently under siege by the Skaven anyway. So, let's march north because we do have Xotl here, Axolotl, although I think we've already occupied both of those, so they wouldn't count to our victory. But marks of the old ones and Altar of the Horned Rat for sure we haven't occupied. If we go north, let's see how Adley is doing with her regeneration. Her replenishment, there we go. So replenishing nicely there. We will leave her there for another turn before we march up to Ragon. Tlaxlan here has quite the garrison. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to take that. Let's check our diplomacy vote. Maybe by some miracle we have something. Yes. Yep, nothing. Fun times. And then over in Tlax, we should be able to build... there we go. We could just build Dead Pirates Totems actually. So Vampiric Corruption in adjacent provinces +1. Let's go ahead and build that. We may as well. And we have 1.1k gold left. I think that's it for this turn. So let's go ahead and end our turn here. So go on to turn 1, 2, 3. Quite a satisfying number there.
The Pirate King is no pawn. I will end you.
Ikit declaring war against us. Okay.
I might kill you, but worry not. An empty vessel still has a purpose.
Count Noctilus also declaring war on us. Luthor's getting into a very dangerous situation here. So the Rite of Sotek performed all the way down here in the south. We won't have to worry about that. We did gain a new trait for Luthor here. Oh, wrong button. So +1 control in local province, but -15 leadership when fighting against Skaven. That's an interesting trait there to trade off. Present in a province with high Skaven corruption. Okay, and the same again there. Noob Firewalker gaining the same, and our Vampire Fleet Captain and our Haunter. So everyone in Luthor's army getting that trait. Now, we can't reach Mark of the Old Ones. It's not actually under siege anymore, though. So let's go here on the border and we can attack that next turn. If we go to the north, there we go, here's Adley. I believe her army is recovered enough now, so let's go and attack this settlement here. There we go, a decisive victory there. We will go ahead and auto-resolve this and occupy. Very nice. If you go to the west here, the Empire also raising a new army. But that's okay. Adley gaining a level up. Let's get Denizens of the Deep. I do love that rotting Promethean unit summon. We will let Adley get some replenishment there. I think Pox Marsh can get an upgrade. So let's go ahead and upgrade the port first. And then we could also build some resource, but we don't have enough gold. So we'll wait for that. We will go ahead and check our diplomacy here. Nothing to be had here. That's okay. Before I end my turn, we can just check on our victory conditions. We need to raid or basically attack 3 more unique or different settlements. So we're getting closer to the victory here. Let's go ahead to our next turn. And I don't think that's a battle we can win there. Of course, a decisive defeat to Rakaf.
Speak up! I may not hear you over the voices.
Aranessa ending their military access pact with us, so Luthor very quickly running out of friends. He did restore his fractured mind, but at what cost? And the Citadel of Dusk was looted and then occupied. And this Skaven faction has performed the Scheme of Doom. A special Warlock Engineer has been summoned, capable of causing a powerful earthquake in an enemy settlement. And Torgrovan have been obliterated, so one of the Wood Elf factions there. And this Tombkin faction has performed the Great Incantation of Kassar. Luckily, we won't be going over there. And a new technology, so minus 10% upkeep for animated hulks, bloated corpses, sirens, rotting Prometheans, rotting Promethean gunnery mob, Mongols, rotting Leviathan, and Necro for Colossus units, as well as that -1 recruitment duration. So very nice there. In fact, let's go ahead and open the technology tree again. We could get ship carpenter, so minus 50% construction costs for ship buildings in the Lord's army. Let's go ahead and do that one. We probably should have got that later or earlier on in the campaign, sorry. Definitely picking the later there. We could go attack Marks of the Old Ones this turn. So a decisive victory there, of course. We will auto-resolve that and then go ahead and occupy. There we go, an Obsidian Trinket, so 10% spell resistance that we stole from the enemy. Luthor leveling up to level 41 as well here. Let's see, what can we get for Luthor? We have all of this unlocked now. So, plus 18 armor for Zombie Pirate, Deckhand Mob and Depth Guard units, as well as melee attack and missile resistance. Very strong. We could also get missile strength, spell resistance, and armor for Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob, Rotting Promethean Gunnery Mob, Deck Gunners, Carronade, Mortars, and Queen Bess. In fact, I think I might get that. Leadership, speed, and melee defense for Deck Droppers, Scurvy Dogs, Terrorgeists, Animated Hulks, Mongols, and Sirens, so not really useful for us right now. And then melee attack, weapon strength, and spell resistance for Rotting Prometheans, Rotting Leviathans, and Necrofex Colossus. So only the Necrofex there benefiting from that. So I think we're going to get ensorcelled weapons here. That seems very strong for us. And Noob Firewalker getting his final skill in Sharkbait. So getting all of his yellow trees now, we can start going down his blue tree. And the army basically at full health, so we should be able to go to the Altar of the Horned Rat next turn. And they don't even have much of a garrison actually. If we go up north to see how Adley is doing, her army, other than the Necrofexes, are essentially at full health as well. So let's move her to the edge of this settlement here. We'll still get a bit of province, but maybe we can attack this next turn. The Empire moving towards some of our other settlements here. If we go to our home province, let's see, we can build a clay pit here in Pox Marsh, and let's upgrade our totems to some effigies here to spread that vampiric corruption, which is very nice. And of course, checking the diplomacy. I don't think, because we accepted that gold to go to war with Rakarth, our reliability here is very low, so I don't think we're going to get much diplomacy for the rest of this campaign. But let's go ahead to our next turn here. The Empire there attacking Chakwa. Decisive defeat, that's okay. We will auto-resolve this one. So top knops have been obliterated, as well as Tau signs. So the Greenskins and the Wood Elves both losing a faction there. And a Snoot Slan Mage Priest for the Lizardmans to the east here. I think that's Tic-Tac-Toe, if I remember the icons correctly this time. And of course we did lose this settlement here to the Empire. And a settlement besieged just north of that too. And a new event here, the Sacred Paws. A travelling clothier sets up her stall, offering garments tailored so masterfully that they are like a second skin. All who don her garments become consumed by self-obsession, forever admiring their own reflections and refusing all other duties. Undeterred, countless more queue out the door. So +5 Slanesh corruption there. We don't have to worry about that, I don't think. Adley moving towards this settlement. In fact, I think we can force march quite safely, just so we do make sure we're in range here. There we go. And if we go southwards, where's Luthor? Somewhere hidden in here. In fact, let's use this. Oh, he's right there. There we go. Hard to see him. We can go to the Altar of the Horned Rat this turn. So let's go ahead and do that. Another auto-resolve there. There we go. Very nice. We will go ahead and occupy this, of course. Province secured. Very nice. And then if we do this, let's do -20% enemy movement range. No one's chasing us, but just in case. And how many settlements do we need now? Just one more settlement. We could betray the Skaven. But I don't know. They've been good to me. They're the one faction that Luthor has stood by, as well as Harkon over here. Our alliance has never wavered or shown any threats at all, so I don't think we're going to end the series that way. If we go over to our home province, I think this is all built up. So now we could build Luthor's ship up. Of course, his ship is tier 5, so it's just these buildings. So actually, let's save some gold, and we're also researching that tech to build some more ship buildings. So let's go ahead to his next turn here. So our ally being attacked. Harkon is being attacked by Disciples of the Moor, which is Scrag, I believe. We will enter the war on the side of the ally, of course. There we go. So the end turn timer is getting quite long here. Wow, look at that rat ogre, I believe it is, or I'm not even sure what that is. That's quite scary there. It definitely has a presence on the map. But the Great Incantation of Kasat performed by Harkon, by the looks of it. We're also about to get a rebellion in the Spine of Sotek, the Empire here raiding us instead of sieging. A grudge too far. The dwarves have decided en masse that it is time to finally settle their grudges. all of them in a single tide of blade and gunpowder. Whilst some grudges may be justified, others seem to be thinly veiled attempts at a land grab. They are no longer open to diplomacy, so the only solution is now destruction. It begins our first end game crisis. And we gained a new mission here, Ultimate Campaign Victory. Control at least 6 of the following settlements, either by direct ownership or through vassals and military allies. So I think these might be all dwarf related. There we go. So plenty of dwarf armies spawning in here. All over the map actually. That's up by where Grombrindle is, of course, in our other campaign. Let's see if we are under threat immediately in our lands though. I don't believe so, right? Of course, so many dwarf holds now that we are... Yeah, plenty of armies there. So many dwarf holds now that we have Immortal Empires map. I really do love it. But I think we're relatively safe. Yeah, no dwarf spawning in Lustria by the look of it. And does that actually give us a new victory? It does. Ultimate Campaign Victory down here. Interesting. But for now, let's go and look at Luthor. Oh, what's... There we go. And is there anywhere we can attack that's within range? We can go towards Axolotl, but I think we've already claimed that at least once. Skroke seems to be trying for it as well. But we will start moving north anyway, just so we can go and help Adley up here. Of course, she's probably won't be able to take this by herself. We'll see. Yeah, valiant defeat there. What we will do is siege it and build some siege equipment. Maybe some turns of attrition will help turn that before Luthor gets here. If we go over here, we can upgrade our defenses in Poxmarsh. Definitely gonna do that. Too many times this series have we lost to Poxmarsh. And we do have another 2.2k gold. I don't think we're going to spend it though. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. Of course, I want to save some gold for the Luthor ship. So for now, that looks like an end turn here. We will go ahead and end our turn. A decisive defeat there for the Marks of the Old Ones. No way we can hold on to that, I feel. Again, Rakaf with that decisive defeat. So many monsters in his army. It's one does wonder how you defeat such a formidable force.
All the sea is mine. All of it.
Aranessa ending the trade agreement, so she really doesn't like us anymore. And of course we do have a rebellion here. A vampire army actually spawning. Due to the vampire corruption, I assume that is. We also lost a settlement to the lizards. And also another settlement here to Rakaf of the Dark Elves. And a great incantation of Kassar performed in very far away lands. We definitely have to worry about that, as well as a failed war attempt. And the Winds of Pain. The world yields to those who master the winds of magic. Great bolts from the heavens scour souls from bodies, whilst raging torrents of fire rend the very flesh from bone. Magic can rip enemies into a dozen pieces, or leave nothing but an ugly bloodstain where once they stood. The power granted by the cataclysm many eons ago can be harvested now to bring ruin and destruction upon our enemies. All those who feel the pull of magic feel it grow as the world festers under chaos's ruinous gaze. Their need to ravage grows stronger and stronger by the hour. So plus 10 Winds of Magic power reserve per turn for all armies of all factions. Okay, looking over here you can see Harkon really did become a very dominant force, but also tic-tac-toe here also, which is interesting to see. Of course the Empire and then us and Rakaf controlling pretty much all of Lustria as well. It's nice to see just not one person taking over an entire continent so far. It seems to be fairly split. But let's head on back over to Luthor. Our Haunter here does in fact have a level up. So let's go ahead and give him deadly onslaught. There we go, very nice. And where are we taking Luthor? We could go west actually, all the way to Giotto, I think that's pronounced. Let's actually force march. We should be able to reach it next turn then. They do have an army. Oh, they have a 4-stack here. The garrison not so big though, so I think that's okay. If we take another look at Adley, can she win this now? Not quite, so let's continue the siege with Adley here. Hopefully the attrition will help. Going down to Tlex, we can get an upgrade here. Of course, the defense building. We take a look at the garrison here. Yeah, very nice garrisons. There we go. We will go ahead and look at our diplomacy. Oh, it's interesting. The greenskins here actually starting to like us. But nothing else, sadly. A lot of wars we're involved in there. So that does look like an end turn for now. So let's go ahead to turn 128. So a decisive defeat there at the hands of the lizards. That's okay. So we did end up losing that settlement there to the lizards, but that's okay because we almost are at a victory here. Our infamy, we're higher than Noctilus, so at least we're the most infamous of the legendary lords as well. If we head on over here, there is Luthor. We can't actually reach that settlement this turn, so let's just relax here outside of range. And we can take that next turn. If we go north to Adley, let's see, does the auto-resolve favour us? Not yet. So still continuing that siege here in the north. There we go. If we go over to the jungle of webs, it looks like we're pretty much all built up here. All of our buildings, we could actually get the rotting leviathans here. But I think other than that, we are pretty much maxed out. So that's very nice. We will go ahead and check out diplomacy. See if there's anything to be had. Not quite. So it looks like another end turn already here. But at least there should be a battle at least against the dwarves. So let's go ahead to our next turn. So another decisive defeat there at the hands of the Empire. The Great Golden Idol. Apparently a great lizardman temple has been unearthed. Though most of it is dilapidated, a single statue stands at the center of what was most likely a ceremonial garden. It must be worth a fortune, but removing it will certainly cause the temple to collapse, which will surely draw somebody's ire. Should we take the idol and ignore the consequences, or be cautious not to attract too much attention and their cold, unforgiving bloodlust our way? If Luthor has learned anything from the past, he should know to avoid the idols and such. But we will take it for that 2.5k gold. So Luthor not learning from his past mistakes there. And Sharktooth have been obliterated, so another faction biting the dust. As we go towards Luthor now over here, we should be able to attack this settlement and win this siege, I believe. A Pyrrhic victory. High casualties. We only lose the one deck gunner though. The fact that we only lose the one deck gunner makes me actually want to do this. In fact, yeah, let's do it. It's only the one unit. There we go. Massive 5k experience. We will occupy this. Spine of Sotek there destroyed, so we don't have to worry about them returning either. Let's go ahead and get the... let's get bat swarms, of course. And now Luthor's army here, getting plenty of level ups. If we go over here, let's go ahead and get the... Oh, we could get all hands here. Let's go ahead and get this. This seems very strong, as well as the extra armor, melee attack, and missile resistance for our depth guard units. Our vampire fleet captain also gaining a level up here. So let's go down this tree, give her some melee defense. And also Noob Firewalker, our Gunnery White, been revived many times this series. Let's go ahead and give him some training. There we go, very nice. And we did actually manage to raise that deck gunner from the dead, I just noticed. So we didn't actually lose the deck gunner. Really nice. Let's see if Adley can finally attack this. There we go, a Pyrrhic victory. We do lose 3 units, but they're very replaceable. So we will go ahead and do this. There we go, and we complete the short campaign victory. Glory to you, glory to us. The war will go ever on, for that is the nature of this turbulent world. But for the moment, we can claim victory. And we get plus 15% casualty replenishment rate for all armies. Very nice there. This wallpaper, of course, very cool. One of my favourites from the Vampire Coast. And if we take a look at Adley here, she does have a level up. Let's go ahead and give her Kiss of the Deep. So, what does this do? Damage per second to all enemies in range when she is casting. Very nice. But, if we zoom out now, so let's take a look at the land. We control, I would say, about half of Lustria, maybe just under half of Lustria, to get that short campaign victory. Sadly, that's all we have time for today. I think that might be the end of the series as well. We shall see. I'm going to reflect over the next few days. Of course, this is the very first series on the channel. I've definitely learned a lot in the last 5 weeks or so of making these Luthor videos. And I think the channel quality has slowly improved as well, which is the important thing. So really, this Luthor series has been like a testing ground for me. And yeah, honestly, the support on the videos, I wasn't expecting it to be this great, especially this soon on. So thank you to everyone, especially if you made it this far in the Luthor series and the video. Thank you. It feels awesome, honestly, and it's because of you guys. But yeah, that's enough of that soppy stuff. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode at the usual time. So thank you for watching. I will see you then.
I was one, but now we are many. We all agree on one thing: to sail the coast, hunt down those lizard trinkets, and we will find them. We will put ourselves back together. Fortune favors the infamous.